What the fuck? Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Eddie, and I am back with another episode of a review of Heavenly Delusion, and this time I'm reviewing episode 9. And, oh boy, what an episode. So immediately off the bat, we're greeted for this really interesting sight, and as it turns out, Azura really is this weird alien thing. Something I really want to point out that I was originally too distracted by the weird looks is that Azura seems to have 6 fingers. And what's more is that Azura seems to have far more powers than all the other kids in heaven. Like, we just found out that Kona has these, simulation powers, basically. Mimi Hime's got these precognition dream powers. We don't know what Tokio's power is yet. Let me see. Taka has these, really super strong body. I think Tarao's superpower was that he was immune to basically everything. Let me see. We're not sure what Shiro's power is, but Cuckoo's power is these frog-like powers to stick onto and climb things. Azura, on the other hand, in addition to looking like an alien, has a bunch of cool powers, from healing powers, telepathy, telekinesis, being able to freaking sprout wings and fly around and stuff, to, let's be honest here, probably a whole bunch more other powers. Regardless, Azura seemed like a really chill person, and it's a real shame that they decide to commit suicide, because they just seem like such a cool person to hang out with, and they just seem like such a nice person, you know? And this is right after seeing Mimi Hime and Shiro die last episode, so I feel like I wasn't emotionally prepared for this sort of thing to happen again. The entire psychic speech Azura gives to Kona really hit me in the feels, and I just also want to point this out. Look how adorable they look in this scene. You know, when they're when young Kona and young Azura are holding hands together, but they look so adorable. Just look at them. Azura basically, but here's the thing: Azura decides to basically hang themselves on the vents of the school of heaven by flying up, making it super extra and stuff, which is why we saw that scene all the way back. So it turns out I was right. There was some magical shenanigans going on. On the bright side, though, and I do want to mention this, is that after, not only do we have cute Kona and cute Azura, but after this, we're treated to a scene of Kona being depressed, and we get to see young Mimi Hime, rest in peace, and young Tokio, and I must say, they're both adorable as well. So I guess after seeing all that depressing stuff, I did at least have this to cheer me up a little bit. Poor Kona's basically the last one left in his grade, but on the bright side, it looks like Tokio has always been interested in Kona, and we get to see Tokio have this really cute blush. So yeah, I guess she's always been interested in Kona. I guess I don't want to say lucky boy, because on one hand kind of lucky, on the other hand you're also really getting screwed over here, pal. I also wanted to say that the entire scene just gave me so many Ghibli vibes for some reason. I'm not sure why, probably just because of the way Tokio and Kona are designed. But yeah, there are a lot of Ghibli vibes, and that's about the moment when the entire anime, or where the scene goes from past to present, or present in terms of the Heaven storyline, that is, which is the past in the Maru and Kiriko storyline, but you get what I'm saying. Head to the present, and basically Kona realizes, oh no, Tokio's probably next on the chopping block. Which, first off, yes, we get it, probably because Tokio is pregnant, but the real question is, why? How do you know that, Kona? I'm not sure with the similarities between Azura and Tokio as of, or at least the, the situational similarities between the two, and I don't get why Kona would know that Tokio's in danger, but you do you, I guess. Right after this scene, we are treated to a group of, foreign, looks like foreign visitors from another country visiting heaven, and I gotta say, what is up with anime and having the worst possible English VAs? I don't mean in terms of dubs and stuff. I just mean when there's an actual Japanese text. Why are they so freaking bad? Can't you hire any English voice actors? I know that in Tomo-chan, in the Tomo-chan anime, the girl that played, I don't remember, one of the girls that one of the VA for one of the girls actually was, I think spoke fluent English, so she's able to do both the sub and the dub. Why can't we have more people like that? There are tons of people out there like that. Or if you're going to put in a dub, or not a dub, but if you're going to put English voices in an anime, why don't you just get people that speak English? There's tons of people that can do that, and they're never that important of a character, so can't you just get anyone? Something that I want to ask, though, is that what exactly did Dr. Aoshima see right there? Was it Tokio being pregnant, as is later revealed, or is there something else I missed? Because Tokio does not look visibly pregnant in that shot where she's walking to the pool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's like a very slight bump, but honestly, that could just be the art being funky. All that later, and we're finally greeted to our first scene of the Kiriko and Maru storyline. And what's interesting is that Maru's tooth has grown back, just as I predicted. I guess Maru really is a superhuman after all. Basically, right after this, we're treated to this massive earthquake, and I guess some things in Japan never really do change, which makes sense. Just because there's the apocalypse doesn't mean that the crust of the earth is going to change or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, Japan, you're still on the Japanese island. I guess earthquakes would happen from time to time. A really funny thing that I wanted to point out here was that I really share Kiriko's sense of logic right there, because while Maru was like, what, you want to get to the collapsed buildings before the scavengers have arrived? But no, Kiriko's idea was basically like, no, we arrived them at the same time as them, and we're able to like exchange info and maybe even have like a nice place to stay, which was exactly my thought. Come on, Maru, like, more people, if you're able to meet people, generally speaking, people are going to be like friendly to you, and you could like find a place to stay and kind of like work at and stuff. Turns out, though, no one else was there except for this one guy, and I just want to say, that seriously jump scared me when I saw it. Like, I legitimately thought it was like some weird ghost thing that was gonna appear and like sort of like attack them at first. But no, it turns out it's just some guy, but not just any guy. Turns out he's the post-apocalyptic equivalent of those like weird clickbait conspiracy YouTubers that basically go on with these weird tangents and have these like always like stupid ass stories. Now, before I move on to this next segment, I really want to say it's really interesting that there's so many like interesting like jump cuts between segments in the anime today. I feel like today's episode was like interestingly directed because basically we jump cut from this guy telling stories to, I guess, a Zoom conference called During Heaven. And yep, it's as we all expected. Tokio's basically visiting Dr. Aoshima for a checkup, and turns out, yes, Tokio is pregnant. It's practically spelled out for us. I mean, it will be at the end of the episode, but, you know, it's almost pretty much certain to anyone that, you know, has able to, like logically figure out these things. But Dr. Aoshima's not telling Tokio about that. Now, I really want to say, seeing Shiro and Mimihime talk like that was really sad, just because like I was reminded of episode 8 and what ultimately happens to them. But something that gets overshadowed by all that is that Mimihime is the only one that's able to see the fact that Asura's, I guess, imprint is still right there up on the ceiling. Like, what is up with that? Like, oh my god. That's terrifying. Like, poor Mimihime. Not just because of what's going to happen to her later on, but also because she's got to deal with seeing this creepy winged thing that turns out to be the dead body of one of her friends. Worse yet is the fact that Tokio is missing from class, and she's being carted off to who knows where. The robotic teachers are all trying to cover it up by saying, oh no, you'll be able to see her later on, but no, we all know what's going to happen to or we don't know, but we know that whatever's going to happen to Tokio is nothing good. And right there is when we're right back at the weird conspiracy guy. While I do think he's full of garbage, there's always some useful information in said garbage. I think the disaster was caused by all three of the events in some way. It wasn't exactly aliens, but close enough. It wasn't exactly a terrorist attack, it was the kids breaking out. And I'm not sure how the asteroid factors into this, but I'm sure it will somehow. Somewhere down the line, I think a single event that was known in truth split into 3 different events as people saw different sides of the apocalypse that were all one event in truth, and eventually began to think that there are 3 different theories. And yeah, as I said, this guy might be full of shit, but that picture he shows of a weird bird thing flying through the sky is definitely Asura. So yeah, I think it's pretty much confirmed that it's got something to do with the facility. But what? Seriously though, that cut with the school controlled by women and having the old leader lady promote Aoshima over the other 2 guys was pretty genius. I was almost convinced when I heard his story, and more so when I saw the tattoo, but I slowly began to realize that it wasn't really the same story and start to have my doubts. And my doubts were correct. He's just a filthy liar, and this last story really was just a coincidence, because the tattoo's also a fake. One thing I wasn't smart enough to realize was why he was backing up his truck in that way. I thought that was kind of sus, but I didn't really think too much of it. Turns out he was doing that so he could cover up the logo on the building right behind them so that he could milk them of all their money. The spicy thing about Takahara Academy is that it really is linked to heaven. And in this scene, not only did we get 100% solid confirmation, even the most media illiterate people would know that Tokio is pregnant, or even like the most unintuitive people now get the, firm word of God, no subtext, just text that Tokio is pregnant, but it also looks like Kiriko and Maru have finally hooked on to the right lead. Also, yeah, I agree with Kiriko here. I would never spend the night at the Takahara Academy ruins. Even without knowing the horrible experiments that go on in heaven, that place just creeps me out. And that's basically like one of the last scenes of the anime. The very last scene is basically them, the heaven staff having like this little conference with each other. What is going on in heaven? How is Tokio being pregnant going to ruin your plans? So I was right. Not only is there no sex ed in heaven, but these people are also dangerous. Tara was right. And the thing is, that's it. That's basically how we end off the episode. That episode felt way too short. It felt like it was just 5 minutes long. Like, I know I say this a lot, but the episode was way too freaking short. That's it. That's the end of the episode. Man, that was a wild ride. There's not that many questions I have left, but the few questions that we do have are just so pressing. They're so key and so critical. I feel like we're on the verge of a breakthrough here. But that's where the anime leaves off. Oh my god, so many things that were revealed to us today, and we're left with very few questions, but those few questions are critical. And as I said, we're almost on the verge of a breakthrough here. So yeah, that's it. That's the end of the episode. So I guess that's all I have to say about it. And yeah, everyone. I do want to say one more thing, is that I might not be able to record for the next 2 weeks. So if that video is a little late, please do forgive me. But yeah, that's basically all there is for this episode. And that is that. I hope you all enjoyed the video, folks. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment if you haven't done so already. And make sure to smash that bell. Oh, and leave a comment, down below what you thought of the episode, what you thought of the video, yada, yada, yada. And I guess that is that. The sky's up, and you guys are awesome. I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.